And I think if you have not heard Rebecca Major last month, please go and hear because she talked about R squared last month and she's going to talk about youth tomorrow. Okay. So anyway, hello everybody. Good evening, good morning, depending on where you're coming from. I kind of like standing as a host here on behalf of Pat and Margaret Song. And so we're very happy this morning, or for me it's morning here in Singapore. Very happy that we've got one of my upline, my two-level upline, Dr. Lam here from Singapore, professionally a dentist. And I remember when I first met her, we did our first business meeting at her clinic. So anyway, so very happy that she agreed to come and share her health journey with us this morning. So let's put our hands together to welcome Dr. Lam, to our one of our speaker for today. Over to you, Dr. Lam.
Okay. Hi, good morning and good evening, depending on where you are. And thank you, Ross, for the introduction. And honestly, I cannot remember that we actually did the business meeting in my clinic. It's been a while. Okay. So I would just go ahead with the sharing. And thank you, Pat and Margaret, for inviting me to come and share. So let me get my slides. Okay, so today we are going to, I'm just going to share a bit about my journey. And it's today's topic also very much centered on Pharmanex and it's on baseline health. So just share a little bit about my background and how I came about with the Nu Skin business first. So I'm a dentist, as Ross had mentioned. And actually, I started my own dental group when I was 26 years old in Singapore. And I built it to multiple locations in the country. We have had about 15 dentists working for me. And eventually, I sold off the business just before COVID, very luckily. And I've been building the Nu Skin business for about 20 years. So I came from Malaysia. And I think I just wanted to share this because some of you might not have heard my story. So this picture here is if you come to Singapore and Malaysia, this picture here is actually the causeway, which is a road that links our two countries, Malaysia and Singapore. And I came from Malaysia, and how I ended up in Singapore was that I had to travel to school every day because my parents thought it was a good idea for me to get an education in Singapore instead. So I would carry my passport and go to school every day and cross this bridge. And that's how I ended up in Singapore. Okay, I managed to get a scholarship. And at the same time, there are thousands of people who do this every day. Okay? Mainly because we are trying to find a way to get a better life, find a way to get education, right? So we do that on a daily basis, and the road is always heavy traffic. So that's how I ended up in Singapore, and I got very fortunate. I got into a dental school in Singapore, and I eventually I started my own business. So why I started my own business was I thought that me and my friends, we thought that we could build a business whereby we could have lots of people work for us, and then we can go and play. If you put it as a 20-something-year-old, this is what we were thinking. Okay, but of course, after having started my own business, and to be honest, we made a lot of business mistakes because we were very idealistic 20-year-olds. I started my business in the middle of Orchard Road. If you know Singapore well enough, it's the expensive district. We had no patience, we had no frontage, and it took some time for us to build a business. So why I share this was because of that experience of building my own business in a traditional way. It actually led me to really open up my eyes to what the Nu Skin opportunity can offer and what it really is. So if I had not started my own business, I probably would not have been able to understand the Nu Skin business and my life would have been completely different. So of course, I started my own business, and it didn't take too long before realizing that it was yes, we can make money. Eventually, we can make money, but it requires us to sell time for money. I always had to be physically present, and because we made so many business mistakes when we first started, we had to work day and night to actually pay off our a huge debt that we incurred at the beginning of starting our business. And I was working very, very long hours. And it came to a point whereby I was thinking, can I, um, you know, have money come in that doesn't require my physical presence? Because I was getting really, really tired. I was working all day, all night. Uh, for the first 5 years of my clinic business, my only so-called off days were public holidays in Singapore, which were very, very few. Okay, so eventually my clinic also uh, grew, and we actually won some awards in the local context. And so it wasn't, it started to do well as well. But at the same time, at the back of my mind, I was always thinking, is there another way to make money that did not require my physical presence? Because as it grew and grew, despite me trying to leverage and build a group and have more people work for me, it only meant more capital, more risk, and actually it still took up a lot of my mental space and a lot of time. Okay, so I actually met the person who actually brought me into this business, and she's actually a world champion gymnast from China, and we met coincidentally because she had a toothache one night, and we had um, and she couldn't find a dentist, and they were she and her friend were driving aimlessly along the roads in Singapore, and I was doing a night clinic at the time, and it was close to 10 o'clock at night, and she came in, and that's how I got to know her. And what happened was that she was trying to tell me about the products of New Skin initially. Why? Because she thought that, wow, this dentist, she can get an appointment at night, she can get appointment on the weekends, and every and she thought I had really bad health. Okay, so I went and had a look. Okay, and I was scanned on the biophotonic scanner. So of course it was the older version. I couldn't find the older version picture. And when I was scanned on this, actually my score at that time was um, less than 10,000. So if you know about the biophotonic scanner, there's a range of scores that it measures our nutritional health. I was, if you look at my arrow here, I was right here. That means they couldn't even detect very much antioxidants. So um, I decided, okay, I will try a box of life pack. She talked to me for 2 hours, and I was wondering, how do people make money selling a box of $100 vitamins for 200, I mean, for 2 hours? So that was when the business plan was explained to me. And it was then that my instinct was that, hey, this is an opportunity that will allow me to build a business that eventually will not require my physical presence over time. Okay, I wasn't very clear about the entire thing, but I decided to embark on it, and that in that sense made a huge impact. And eventually, that decision and the consistent actions that I took after that over time led to me having a very, very different life. So I'm going to share how that came about. So I start with this antioxidant scanner because at the time when I scanned this scanner, um, I didn't feel I was having a health issue. I was still young. And at the time I was also working very hard, very stressed. I was not taking care of myself, but as a young person, we don't really care. We always this think that we are Superman, Superwoman, and things like that. In other words, the wellness aspect was not big in my mind before I embraced or understood supplementation, nutritional health, or before I understood the New Skin business. So, what does that score mean? If when I was in the red zone, actually, I was my baseline health was very, very poor. but it might not have shown in the body as yet because your baseline health is an indicator of overall wellness, and it doesn't mean that it can, where poor baseline health might not immediately amount to illness. Okay, so today's topic I want to share with you is about baseline health. Okay, so what is baseline health in the first place? At any point of time, a snapshot, that means now, today, whatever your health status is your base. Okay, and it is, and people's concept of baseline health can vary. Some people's concept of baseline health might just be on purely physical health, and we might ignore other aspects of health as well. But in the true meaning of baseline health, it's very complex as a combination of physical health, mental health, emotional health, because they all actually are interlinked and they all affect each other. Because if you're highly stressed, or maybe you're going through a very stressful period emotionally, actually it takes a toll on your physical health, and then in turn it actually impacts your baseline. Okay, so we have so baseline health can vary, and today it's really about what we can do a bit about baseline health, or can we even do anything. So why is it important? Okay, why? Because I feel okay today. What, I don't really feel I'm really sick. Some other people got COVID. I didn't get COVID. So does that mean my baseline health is better than other people? You know, the thing about baseline health, it is not to compare with others. Baseline health is yours, and how I see it is that it's about whether we can actually be better tomorrow versus yesterday. Why? Because who doesn't want better general health, right? So it's about being consistent, it's about practicing the right habits, it's about using tools to help our body become better, a little bit better than we were yesterday. Okay, so that is the base, and everybody's base might be different. Some of you might be uh, diabetic. That's your base, but are you able to work to improve that base such that we can move further away from a disease state? So baseline health also affects the aging process. Okay, and of course, if your base health is not good, you will decline faster. Your quality of life in your later years will not be so good. You have a higher tendency for chronic conditions. I think all these we know. Okay, uh, and um, and and of course, when you have an accelerated aging process, then you are not able to enjoy a lot of things that you used to be able to do, be it physical activity, sometimes even the types of food that you are able to eat, and even the mental health as well. Okay, so baseline health is very interlinked with aging. Okay, the better your base health, actually you are much more resilient against the aging process. And so I put up this slide to talk about it in general terms. This I think we also know, of course, we're aging, a lot of these things are a lot weaker, right? So can it change? Can we do something about our base health? The answer is yes. Wherever you are at in your own baseline today, can it can we take steps to improve it tomorrow, the day after, and so on and so forth? The answer is yes. It starts with your intention. Do you want to have it better or not? Okay, and we it's a journey. Health is a journey. It is not a destination. Say, oh, I reached here already, and I don't have to do any more of this. Okay, why? Because if you look carefully at the people who are healthy, we actually have inculcated things into our life to make it habitual. Okay, so the obvious ones that we know about how to improve your base, nutrition, because very simply, whatever we eat is whatever we get in the body, correct? We need to be active, exercise. So are these new? No. Okay, we need to sleep really, really well. In fact, just last week, actually, there was a study that was published, and these researchers actually found that if you had not slept well 2 weeks ago, and even though you try to have to make up for it after some time, actually the period of time when you didn't sleep well, 2 weeks later, your body is still feeling the impact of it, even though you might not see the physical aspect of it, right? That there is an impact on it even 2 weeks later. So we need to take care of our mental, our emotional health. And many people ignore this thing because they think that they're eating well, they're exercising, that they are sleeping well. They avoid a preventive uh, 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 routine check. Okay, this when you look at anybody who is actively looking to improve your baseline health or to check on in terms of their health level, they always go for health checks. So don't get me wrong. Whatever I'm saying today is not to say that if you do this, you will not have this, okay? I'm talking about it as how best can we take care of ourselves on a daily basis. And regular check is so important. And as a dentist, you might be brushing your teeth so well. You might, those of you who are in the new skin business, you say, we use a really great toothpaste, AP24, so I don't have to go and see a dentist. That's not true because there are blind spots, there are things that we have to check, and regular checks should be in your portfolio for baseline health. And because it's in my portfolio, and that also made a huge difference in my sharing later as well. Okay, so we know we are supposed to do these things, but there are so many challenges because it's it's real life. Okay, we I don't uh, I mean, I'm not perfect, and I can I still like to eat all kinds of food. Sometimes we, for whatever reason, we get stressed out, we don't have enough sleep. So there's a lot of things in modern life that really make it very difficult for us to live a so-called, to have all these ideal habits. Okay, and of course then we do our best, but with modern life it's not possible. Can so my question to you is, I can do my best with exercise, I can do my best with I sometimes, even with the environment, I can't really do very much. I just walk out and I breathe the air, it's already polluted, right? But what can we do in our capacity to help? So can the nutrition alone, just by eating natural foods, can it help with our baseline? Yes, but we all know that with over farming, there's a lot of soil depletion. And because of that, even our fruits and vegetables that we are eating now might not have enough nutrition to actually help our bodies. So there's so many aspects that actually supplementation can help with our base. Okay, so today, because it's a Farmanex sharing, so I'm going to talk about that. And do you know that supplements can also help with your genetic foundation to improve your baseline health as well? Okay, so there's a very wide spectrum when we talk about baseline health. Sometimes when people think about baseline health, I've heard of friends who have come to me and say, "Oh, I don't need all these because I hardly fall sick. The last time I had a cold was 3 years ago." Okay, but that does not equate to a person having good baseline health. That is equate to his perception of one aspect. Okay, because baseline health is very as a wide spectrum, and I consistently work on all these different aspects because one, if my bone health is not good, it impacts my other aspects as well. Okay, so it's a all encompassing, and a lifestyle, healthy diet, body composition, definitely. Okay, and supplementation will help. Okay, so in order to share this, I'm just going to share my personal journey. Okay, and it's just to give you how of what I've done. Of course, everybody might have a different take, but I just want to share also, like what I've said, is that I'm not um, a robot whereby I eat perfectly every day. And I love the outdoors. You see, I play golf a lot. I'm in the sun. I stay active, which actually produces a lot of free radicals and oxidative stress. I like for those of you in our region, you know about the durian, but those of you who are not in our region, the durian is a fruit. It's full of it's actually a it's full of it's very very sweet. It's full of calories, and it's not considered extremely on the healthy side, but I love this fruit. Okay, and I have a very hectic lifestyle. I work as a dentist. On top of that, I still used to run my own dental group, managing many different people and trying to expand the business. And I'm not an angel. I also take alcohol. I also have late nights and things like that. Okay, so then what can I do? So we always flip flop, We're trying to be good, eat lots of vegetables, don't be so stressed, sleep, and sometimes just trying to keep at this can be a bit stressful. Okay, so no one is perfect, but we are trying to shift people away from having unhealthy lifestyle choices and habits. The key word is habits. Okay. If I do this regularly and occasionally I do this, it's not so bad. But if I have unhealthy habits majority of the time and occasionally I have healthy habits, then that's not a very good position to be in. Okay, so then are there things that will help our body become more resilient? Because there are a lot of things in the body that we cannot see. Okay, that we cannot see, and it's only through it's all cellular. So being a dentist, I just want to draw an analogy. Okay, a lot of you think that your teeth and gums are fine, you don't have any problem, but sometimes when you go to the dentist, they say, hey, you have gingivitis, you have a bit of periodontitis, and all these are actually indicators of inflammation in the mouth, which you did not even know that you had. Okay, and by the time you actually could see or feel something, it's actually progressed to a rather more moderate or more severe form of gum disease. The early signs of it are consistently missed because you don't really see anything, but a lot of this inflammation is already happening in the body. So it can happen in the mouth, it can happen in our internal organs, which we cannot even see. Can you look in your artery? Can you look in your heart? Can you look inside your kidney? We cannot see. Okay, but it can build up, and so what can we do? Are there things with science, with knowledge and information, and that we have learned over time that can help to improve? So bear in mind that there's still a lot of unknowns in terms of nutrition. There's still a lot of new discoveries in terms of not just nutrition, in terms of wellness, in terms of even the medical arena, in the healthcare arena. Okay, but what we are trying to do is every day as we learn new things, we apply. As we have more evidence, more clinical data, more we can apply and use it on us as we are right now. Okay, so I have been for many years taking different supplements to help me in my body. Apart from me being active, I exercise. I actually do my best with good nutrition, do my best, right? But I also supplement, okay? And what are the supplements I have been taking? My foundational, these are what I call for foundational health. And I use the biophotonic scanner to actually give me a gauge of where my base was, be it 3 months ago, and where I can be in 3 months' time. So I take my multivitamins, and this Life Pack Nano includes the omega already. But for those of us in our Southeast Asia region, we know that the Life Pack Nano is not halal. So that's why my Muslim friends, we take the Life Pack, the Marine Omega separately. Okay. To me, a foundation is gut health, and I take probiotics. And a foundation is actually we need as we grow older, particularly, we actually need some supplementation for collagen. Okay, collagen being also a very important building block, not just in our skin, but the other parts of our body and our joints and other parts of health as well. Okay, so I take all these things. G3 is an antioxidant juice, which will help to improve your nutrient value in terms of giving you less what we call oxidative stress. So I'm not going to go into detail in every single product. I'm just going to show you what I've been taking. I also have been taking these for years. Reishi, in Mandarin, they call it lingzi, green tea extract. And all these I've been taking because they've been shown to have so much benefit on immune health, cell health. Now, when a lot of people think about immunity, you just think about, it's just can I have immunity? Uh, can I have the one thing for immunity? Okay, I just want to eat one thing. Uh, but that's not how our body works. Our body works is very, very complex, and even the immune system is extremely complex. And different extracts of food, different components of food actually work very differently on different aspects of your immune system. That's why when I talk about immunity, I take many things for immunity. In the same way, when I eat fruits and vegetables, I do not only eat one apple a day, even though they say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. But you need to eat a wider variety of fruit and vegetables to get a wider range of nutrients to help with the immune system. So that's why I take a larger variety of uh, uh, supplements. And I'm not going to go into detail. So if you are interested to know more, please ask the person who showed you this video to give you more information about these supplements as well. And the concept about supplementation that most people have is always like, oh, because I'm deficient in this, then I will eat this. I'm deficient in that, then I will eat that. But with new technology and breakthrough science, actually the understanding of supplementation, which essentially is a form of nutrition, has been changing. And I talked about genetics earlier on. And nowadays, when I take supplements, is when I look at the ingredients, it's not so much about, oh, I need to take X to fulfill the nutritional gap. What we have been able to do with Nu Skin is that they have developed a technology called age lock, and this works on help what they call modulating your genetic expression. And that itself is I'm just going to go through very quickly what it is. Okay, like a set of twins here. Okay, so this is actually a real study, and they have identical genes. So how come one twin at the same time can look a lot younger than the other twin? Okay, so when they took out their gene markers, they realized that the younger looking twin had all the youth related genes still very much active, and the older looking twin had the old age related genes a lot more active, and which is why the body was so-called behaving that way, because the age related genes were active. So what has happened is that over time scientists have been able to find a way that when they put certain ingredients, when they put together, they can help the genes that are related to different functions, be it energy, be it youth, so on and so forth, to behave or to be expressed in a more youthful state. So when that happens, your body will naturally renew and repair itself in a more youthful state. Okay, so because of this, taking supplementation alone is not just about filling a gap. To me, taking supplementation is it when I take the correct supplements, particularly these with the age lock technology, it can help my genes behave or keep my young related genes active for a long time, and then my body will renew and repair itself like a younger me for a long time. So I take these, I take R square. This is for energy. It contains cordyceps, ginseng, pomegranate, and it also helps with cellular purification. I take in our region it's called Wispan, but in the US I think it's called Youth, right? And I take this supplement as well because it works on a more systemic form. That means it's not so much targeted to one organ, but it works on many different aspects of the body. And like I talk about inflammation, really reducing inflammation as well. I take this supplement called Reset for metabolic health. And this one has got so many different health aspects, because I have sometimes periodically I used to take alcohol. So, of course, I want a good, healthy liver. We have evidence for that. I want to manage my blood glucose. So, all these things, when I talk about, when I take them, when I started taking them, it was not because I was ill. It was not because I have a problem. I take them because I'm well and I want to remain well for a longer period of time. So these are not made for sick people. They are made to keep all of us who are well, especially even if you're young, right? You want to maintain your body at whatever state you are at, or even better than where you are yesterday. Okay, so if you want in your 50s, maybe to have a better, like a body like a 30-year-old, you got to start in your 30s. Okay, so if you're new to this, and maybe you think, oh, am I too late? No, because wherever we are, that's our base. We can improve on it every single day. Okay, so I talk about body composition because we all know as long as your fat content is high, you also have a lot of health issues. Okay, and having high fat content is not a good baseline health. But can you do something about fat content? Yes, you can. So we have. So I've been on programs to help me with my body composition, and it includes eating well. It includes being active as well. Okay. So, and recently I added this to my whole regimen of supplementation because of brain, right? The nutrition for brain is very, very important. There's still so much unknown about brain health, but every time there's some evidence, I am prepared to actually put myself in a better state. Okay. So, so everything that we have with New Skin, I'm very confident. I've been taking them for about 20 years, and the supplements to me. I mean, it's pharmaceutical grade actually. Okay, and and it's properly curated, it's properly tested, and the key is also safety. Okay, so from here, I just want to share. So I've been taking these supplements for many years. I have not been particularly ill. I have no chronic diseases. I'm very healthy, but I never miss. I never take for granted, and I go for regular health checks. So about just let me stop share for a short while. Yeah. Then so about 3 years, actually exactly 3 years ago, I actually went for a routine health check. Okay. And in a long story cut short, I was diagnosed to have breast cancer. Okay. So I was diagnosed with stage 1 breast cancer. And why I also had the impetus to go regularly and check because it seems to run in my family, on both sides of my family. Actually, four of my aunts had breast cancer. And so I had the diagnosis of breast cancer. And nowadays, when we get diagnosed, actually, I was sent for immediately for a genetic test. And it turns out that I actually carry two different types of genes that can give me breast and ovarian cancer. And so my genetic predisposition is very, very high. And because of that, uh, even though mine is stage 1, I was actually the tumor size was just 1 millimeter away from stage 2. I decided to go on a very aggressive surgical plan. Why? Because of the genetic predisposition, and the doctors told me that my rate of recurrence of the cancer is 40% and above. So 40% and 50% is about there. So literally, it's like tossing a coin, and there's a rate of recurrence. Okay, so I didn't want that to happen, so I chose to do an aggressive surgery. I did a double mastectomy. Even though the tumor was only in one side, I took out both the breasts, and I did what do you call that, reconstruction. And I also took out the ovaries because I have a high risk of ovarian cancer. Okay, so I did all those, and
Oh,
what really, really, really
usually same
surprised
to you.
Is there
Because
somebody
Penang
else
talked
talking?
about her story.
Uh, Sorry, is there somebody else talking? Okay, sorry. Um, yeah. So let me get back. So I decided to go for the surgery. And that surgery itself was 11 hours because I did all the entire procedure all at one time. Okay. And I want to show you this. Okay. So this picture is of me, and my surgery lasted 11 hours. This is the picture of me 3 hours after my 11-hour surgery. Okay. I wasn't expecting this because I know I've heard so many stories people post, particularly a very very long surgery, wake up feeling really sick, and having a lot of issues. But my surgery finished at midnight, so this is 3 a.m. and because I was asleep for so long, I was so wide awake. I didn't feel sick, so I started taking pictures of myself, and I started to text message my friends and family at 3 o'clock in the morning. And what really amazed me was that I could. This is the next morning because when the doctor said, okay, you can get out of bed, I had to carry these bottles because they were drainage tubes stuck to me. Uh, but you know what? Immediately I was up and about. I didn't feel sick in my entire journey. There was no form of nausea, no form of vomiting. Um, and 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 I was even well enough to do things like that in the hospital room. I was doing masks. Um, so then only I realized, many times we are always just thinking about the other parameters for um, uh, foundational health. But little did I realize that over my years of actually using these supplements, a lot of times we cannot see what's happening in the body. I mean, I cannot go and check my heart, my liver, but when my body needed it the most, actually, I was able to recover very, very, very quickly, very smoothly. The wound healing has been amazing. The complications very minimal. And then I had to go for chemotherapy. Okay, I chose to do chemotherapy because I mean they do these tests nowadays to actually determine if a person can uh, whether chemotherapy will be of benefit. So it was of benefit to me, so I chose to have it done. And every time I went to see my oncologist, okay, the question I have is, why are you glowing? Why are you glowing? Because the majority of times, the people who actually are going through chemotherapy, which is very harsh in terms of the drugs itself, it really, really um, I mean, impacts the whole body, skin. I mean, the whole body. And when I went through chemo, I was very, very fortunate. Like I said, I never had a bout of vomiting, nausea. Um, I was very well. In fact, throughout chemotherapy, I was exercising. I had no problem with nutrition. And that I feel the foundational health that I have built over time with taking the variety of, I mean, taking care of myself over the years, plus the good supplementations that I've been taking over time, gave me a very good shield. It really, really helped my journey. So why I share this? Because no, I don't say that you are going to get cancer, or I hope nobody does get it. But sometimes things can happen which might not be what you expect. You might have an accident, right? And you need immediately some medical treatment. You need to find a way to heal. You need a surgery. But if your state of your body is not good, if you are diabetic, you're hypertensive, you already have some heart issue, you know what? It gives the doctors a lot more headache and difficulty to treat you. Whereas when I went in, I had I went in as I didn't have any of these issues. It was so much easier for the anesthetist. It was so much also easier for my recovery. So the doctor, even my oncologist, every time she will say that I look healthier than her. No? So as a patient, I look healthier than her. So anyway, it was only when I went to so I went through my surgery and things like that. But it was only when I went to what do you call that, chemotherapy, then I realized how fortunate I am, because at chemotherapy, that is when it's actually a whole room, and everybody is doing chemotherapy together. I don't know why, okay, but everybody is doing it together in like one room, and we can see each other. And that was when I realized, firstly, my that the how important that foundational health had for me, because yeah, there were people who are younger than me, who's actually their cancer diagnosis was milder than mine, but when they went for chemo, when they went for surgery, the way they describe their healing or the way they look, and they were having numbness, they were nausea, they were very tired. And then I realized that, hey, it's not an age related thing. It's about how we build the foundational health to be resilient, to help us with whatever aspects that come further down the road. So I saw people where, in their 30s, liver couldn't take the chemo. I saw, and then people talking about poor wound healing. They're much younger than me, and their surgeries are a lot less aggressive than mine. So I realized that that's the first thing about foundational health. The other thing that I realized was when I mixed with other people. When I had the cancer diagnosis, actually the first thing that I did was I had already sold my dental group. I uh I was already working part-time as a dentist, and and when I told the people that I had cancer, so they said, when are you coming back? I said, I'm going to take time off. I said, I don't know. It can be an open date. Okay. Initially I gave them a date, but then of course the treatments kept changing. Then I said, forget it, open date. But I didn't realize that actually the ability to say that is actually a luxury. A lot of times, a lot of people around me, what they were actually, when I went for chemo, so I would bring my laptop, but I bring it because I'm stuck to this drip for about 5 to 6 hours. So I'm watching Netflix. Everybody else brings their laptop, but you know what they're doing? Work. They're actually doing work, or they're literally, some of them are also doing Zoom con call with, I don't know, whatever meetings that they have. So I was really surprised, because in my mind I thought that everybody would also be on medical leave or something, but because chemotherapy can be long drawn into many months, so a lot of people cannot take that time off, and a lot of people cannot uh, uh, yeah, the bosses don't allow it. So they actually maybe take a few days of medical leave, and then after that they go back to work, or they actually work during that process. And a lot of times the ladies will then gather together, and their discussion is always about where to buy wig, where do you get this wig, and so on and so forth. But in my mind, I'm thinking, why would I want to wear a wig? And and um and I had the luxury and the freedom of choice to choose not to wear a wig. And a lot of them said, hey, you're very lucky, because my job is client facing. Some of them are lawyers, some of them are teachers. They actually have to wear a wig uh, a few days time when they go and back to so-called work, right? Because they're client facing, or for whatever their job requires. So then I realized that, hey, I actually have that freedom of choice. Now, then I started to think back, what if I didn't build the new skin business? The reason why I had the courage to sell my entire dental group, to take a different way, was because along the way of building my new physical health, I've also been working on my new skin business, and it has allowed me to build a different kind of income stream, like what I was looking for when I first shared. So it allowed me to build a, 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 a residual income stream that will allow me to just rest. And that itself was a huge peace of mind, because I realized that if when you have maybe a critical illness, or maybe if you have a accident that will put you out of being able to work for many months, actually a lot of people, what they have in their mind is, when can I go back to work? Will I still have my job? or if I have my own small business, will I still have my clients? Will my business survive? So if I had not started the new skin business, honestly, I would have continued with my dental group. Honestly, I would have expanded to even more clinics, and I probably have a lot more stress, and my foundational physical health wouldn't have been so good. I would have actually gone back. I would have actually gone to buy a wig and found a way and find ways to go back to work. So in fact, many times my oncologist will tell me, hey, chemo, you don't have to take time off. You can actually go back to work. Then I said, but I don't want to. It's okay, you know. And then she says, then how does your clinic survive? I said, don't worry, they will survive, right? Because I didn't have to worry about a business anymore. And the new skin business, when it took away the worry about the finances, about money, about that, it gave me huge peace of mind. Okay. And that peace of mind, when I look back, actually it translated to many, many things. Because I don't have to worry about money, that peace of mind actually translated to less mental stress, less emotional stress. I didn't have to worry about my business. I didn't have to worry about whether my patients will run to another dentist. It actually helped with my healing. So emotional, mental health is very much linked to physical health. And my financial health was the one that really, really gave me that security that allowed my emotional and mental health to be strong, and that impacted my physical health. So what I'm trying to say here is that uh, many times we try to do a lot of different things to try to help our physical health, but everything else is interlinked. Now, not many of you also have been running, might be building the new skin business. Maybe some of you are guests, but I know some of you here have been building the business for a while. And if you have been building the business for a while, we also know this. It requires us to build some form of mental resilience. And so the building the business taught me not just mental resilience, it also taught me about perspective and dealing with challenges. So that journey also kind of translated to my journey when I was diagnosed with cancer, how I dealt with the news, how I behave, how I approach it mentally. And that resilience is something which cannot be bought. And that is something which I'm really, really grateful for with this new skin opportunity. Okay, so when I know this part is a bit long, but just one more thing that really really impacted, because I was having my journey was very smooth sailing. My journey was uh, in fact, I was very happy during that period of time. Actually, the impact that it had was not so much on me alone. Actually, the biggest impact I noticed that it had was actually on my parents. Now, how many of you here are parents? Okay. And if your child has just fallen ill, maybe has a hand, foot, mouth disease, and he's running around the house, even though he has a mild fever, and you think he looks fine, then you're okay, right? But if he's lying on the bed and he cannot move and he's moaning and groaning, how would you feel? You will feel very, very stressed. You will actually feel worse, right? So when I was able to recover with that resilience, with that mental capacity, and able to take care of myself physically and financially, the impact on my parents was tremendous. Indirectly, I mean, they were feeling a lot happier. They weren't so worried. So by directly taking care of myself, actually indirectly, I'm taking care of my loved ones. Okay, so that's why I always state I'm really really grateful with this opportunity. So immediately after, when my chemo doctor says, "Oh, you can travel now," this was 3 years ago when actually there were still COVID restrictions. Yeah, okay. So immediately that was when Japan just opened. So I just flew immediately to Japan, went on a holiday. I could go bald, or it's not a very um Japanese culture for women. Women don't walk around bald, but I did. Doesn't matter, right? And of course, you make hay while the sun shines, right? So, So, like I said, it was not a miserable journey. And we just embrace each moment. So me and my travel partner having fun, right? I mean, since I'm bald once and I look like a monk in those Japanese robes, why not take a picture like this? Um, and what I also really like is I could get back to my regular activities very, very quickly. So you notice my hair is barely growing back. This is end of November. I'm back to playing golf. And this is very significant for those of you who have done, okay, not those of you, or you know people who have done mastectomies. A lot of people cannot lift the arm, or they have to go for physio and take time to slowly lift the arm and move. Okay, but the doctors just the physiotherapist said I don't need her after 2 sessions, and I'm back to playing golf, which is what I want. I want to go back to living my life as normally as possible, and not as a cancer patient or whatever, right? That they want to label. I went around to meet my friends with no hair, and I also did uh, gain a lot of weight from treatment. Okay, why? Because the doctor told me, hey, you can go and what do you call that? Eat whatever you want during chemo, right? Don't. And then I thought, okay lah, already you have this, so enjoy life a bit. So I was eating and eating and eating, and because they say that because they're just trying to encourage the patients to eat because a lot of them have no appetite and this and that. But I was eating and eating and eating, and I gained. And I want to share that throughout that period, from that time when I started the chemo onwards, I've been on this drug called tamoxifen. That's the only one drug that I'm on even till today. So tamoxifen and actually removing of the ovaries actually depletes my whole body of even more estrogen. It actually puts me at the very deep end of menopause, and all the signs of extreme menopause are showing on my body. Okay, so I want to share that actually previously at this point of time was the TR90 program. Even with fighting over drugs and post-surgery, and I mean the side effect of tamoxifen, I can still cut fat. Okay, and the tamoxifen also puts me at the higher. It will actually make me, what do you call that? The side effect is raised cholesterol. So the doctors actually wanted to put me on a statin. And what I did, I said, hey, can I try my supplements first? And okay, all the doctors are also my friends from school. So they have been saying that, okay, I mean, your stats are so good, your recovery is so good, and just continue eating whatever you're eating. Okay. So I said to my oncologist, okay, then she said, okay, you can try your whatever supplement. And my from borderline high, my cholesterol has dropped here. You can see it's improved. And then she says, no, you don't have to take any statins at all. So I take the colastin. And what I want to share is that I've been taking these supplements for about 20 years. And in these 20 years, a lot of people say, wow, you take so many things, how? Yeah, maybe your liver cannot take it, your kidney cannot take it. So because of this cancer journey that I have, every 6 months, I got to go for a review. Every 6 months, they will take a blood test. And prior to me having the surgery, they were taking blood tests nonstop every single time. Now my lipid profile is even better than before. Every single time my liver, my kidney profiles pass with flying colors. Okay. Now, if you want to be a skeptic and say, wow, you take so many things, it's going to damage this and that. Literally, our supplements, firstly, safety. Secondly, it's really about taking good extracted nutrients, like eating the real food out there at the same time. Okay, and it does not impact the liver and kidney profile. And over time as well, my skin keeps improving. You will notice that my skin keeps getting better. And even now, I'm very regular on the golf course in the hot sun. My skin is getting better and better. And you know what? It's not just about today is about Pharmanex, it's not just about the external things that I use. Actually, good skin health comes from within. It's always a reflection of what's happening in my body that will show on the skin. Okay. I was inspired by Muwan yesterday when he took a picture of what his supplements that he's taking. So last night I just decided to stack the supplements that I take on a daily basis now. and take a picture. This is what I take every day right now. Okay. In fact, the nighttime recently launched is a very big boost for me because, like I said, with the tamoxifen, I'm put in the deep end of menopause, and it does affect sleep. The nighttime, absolutely love it, and now I really back into a very normal and proper sleep routine. So I take all these things, right? And I know this is not part of the Pharmanex, but I still have to talk about this because this is about baseline health. And ask your friend to show you this well spa. It's really about circulation, lymphatic drainage. That's very crucial also for overall long-term health and detoxification. Okay, get yourself scanned because you need to know your nutritional health. So 20 years ago when I did this, and 20 fast forward many years later, because I did this, because I decided to try the supplements, because I did these regularly, I made those changes many years down the road. It became the biggest shield of my life. It really helped me weather challenging health issue which I had. Okay, so of course, if you're looking also, maybe you can improve your financial health or be in a better financial position, like what I was looking for. This you can get a scan. This is going to be launched very soon. In fact, we're moving forward very much. Ask the person who showed you this about this. So about this thing called the Prism IO. Okay. So the key about good baseline health is really habits and consistency. Yes, you can. I could have taken the supplements for 3 months and stopped, and then it will not have any effect on my baseline health. So it is a journey. I consistently work on it. It always starts with intention, and wherever you are at, it can improve. But we have to make the changes. We have to embrace the changes. We have to understand why, and we can move forward. So my last slide, I'm sorry, I went past an hour. What is truly good baseline health in my mind? It's not just physical health. Physical health, of course, is very important. Okay. Mental health is so crucial. Okay. Emotional health, definitely. But for me, I realized that in modern day, in modern day, if we don't have financial health, it will impact my emotional health. It gives me mental stress. I don't have good financial health, and because of that, I don't even have the capacity to look at uh, taking care of my physical health for whatever reason, too busy working, or no budget to say I want to spend on good quality food, good quality products. I don't have that peace of mind income that will impact my mental and emotional health. All these are intertwined. So I encourage you to look at all these, and to look at, when you want to look at the supplements you might get and try. Yes, they will help you, but ask the person to show you, is there a way forward in terms to help in terms of your financial health. And then when they all work together, we truly have that resilience, that resilience to help us down the road, where whatever that life comes with us, which can surprise us, we have that form of resilience to overcome these challenges as time goes by. So with that, I will stop my sharing today. I'm sorry today we took a bit longer, but yeah, Ross, over to
Oh,
you.
well, no, actually, it's amazing. You're fine. You're fine because we start 5 minutes later, so it's okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Lam, for sharing your amazing. Gosh, it's my first time also seeing your hearing your story and seeing your recovery photos. My goodness. Okay, let's check if there's any question. Um, are you? Let me just scroll up and see any questions up there.
Dr. Lam,
Oh, okay, there's a question. Iriana, right? Yeah, go ahead.
yes, for people who's doing chemo, because sometimes we don't, or the doctors doesn't suggest them to take any vitamins or supplements, just the chemo medicines. So when you do your chemo, did you take any supplements?
Okay, so no matter what, we respect what the doctors say, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because everybody's journey and everybody's diagnosis is very different. Even for one same type of cancer, it has many variations. So there are also very targeted treatments for different types, for similar cancers, but cellular type might be different. So of course we respect what the doctor said. For me, at that point of time, yes, I did continue with my supplements, but during the first week of chemo, I stopped the life pack.
Mm.
Yeah.
Only you stop
The
only the
life
life
pack,
pack,
mainly the life pack, yes.
but you continue with the R square and Y-span.
I did, yeah, I did.
Oh,
Yeah, but
okay.
having said that, if they're very concerned about the antioxidants, yes, stop the things with the antioxidants. But I still continue with my other things like yeah, my reishi. I continue with yeah, and actually there's so much that benefited me post chemo. In fact, now I have people coming up to me to ask for what will grow back hair, what will, and even I mean I didn't share earlier on also even my nails, during chemo. Everybody
Yeah.
else nails, they have all these health issues, and my nails are fine. So like I said, really, really that foundational health. So it's not because suddenly I'm ill that I quickly take these and expect a miracle. My message here is I had this done for many, many years as a habit, and that
Yeah.
built a very solid foundation. To build a solid foundation with nutrition, you need time.
Yes. Agree.
Yeah. So
Okay.
please start when you're well. Okay. A lot of times people only take things when they are unwell.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. Very, very good today.
Yes, thank you for sharing. Hey, Irena, and shall we take a photo? I mean, we got a lot of, oh my goodness, at one point we have something like close to 90 people, 92 I saw on the Zoom. And before everybody starts leaving, I mean, we'll try to, everybody, please turn on your camera. We'll take a photo as part of, as thanking our speaker of the day. Please turn on your camera so that I can help to take the photo. And we could all, after that, you can actually unmute and thank Dr. Lam for this amazing sharing and testimonial of our products.
Thank you for inviting me, Ross.
Oh, no, no, you're welcome. Well, I only help Margaret to say, okay, who else? Everybody has amazing stories. So we want to, showcase as many different people, different story, different journey as much as possible. So anybody, if you have anyone that you would like to invite to this series, please come and talk to me, okay? Then we will line up for them, okay? Because we want to really, really listen to different people's story. Okay, everybody turn on the camera. You're all ready. Have a big smile. And I'm going to use my laptop to screenshot everybody. Yay! Everybody's very good today. Wow, I see everybody's beautiful face.
Why
Ta-da!
can I ask?
Okay, quick. Okay, okay.
Okay,
Whatever, love or whatever. Okay, okay.
can I ask a question?
Wait, wait,
I
wait.
have like I like to ask a
Ask a
question.
question in a while. Let me finish this thing. Okay, next one.
Yes, you can take a picture. I'd like to have a quick question. So to
Okay.
the doctor, thank you so much for sharing first. And is that LifePak Nano consider is the strong antioxidant score raising product?
Is LifePack Nano a strong product for raising your score? Yes.
Okay,
But,
so
but
is
it's the foundation. But there are also other things that can raise your score. But to me, it's the foundation because it gives the very basic nutrients that our body needs.
I see. If a patient, not patient, like a people friends that does not like taking any supplements, but that person does need when they question this, like just take one product. So I guess the LifePak Nano would be the one product to recommend. Is that correct?
It really depends on the person. Really, really depends on the person. Actually, my honest answer is you cannot have one because our body is just too complex to have one. And it's not because we want to sell supplements or suddenly we get addicted to this. And no, it's like you don't just eat carrots, you have to eat like tomatoes, you have to eat so many different things to get full benefits in your body. Like exercise, I do not only go cardio, I do strength, I do weights because I need to make sure my bone health is good. I mean, I didn't mention, actually, I'm also higher risk of osteoporosis because of the medication I'm on. So I do these things still every single day, being a journey. Yeah. So my message is we have to take care of ourselves in a more holistic and a multifaceted way, and to approach it that way.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, there's amazing comment here from Lida. I did continue my supplements with stage 4 gastric cancer and 21 session of chemo. The only thing I stopped was vitality. Yeah, thank you for the testimony as well. And thank you for sharing your very powerful story. Over the years, every person my husband and I have scanned who had 10,000 or less score has had cancer, including both my brothers. Yeah, so therefore, yes, go and get scanned. Please start your supplement, and you can go slow and one, and then like what Dr. Lam say, one is never enough. And all of us who are in the business be like, oh, you saw the photo, right? A whole table full of supplements. But you got to, it comes with confidence, and you got to layer with your customers. Anyway, that's the end of today. Please unmute and say your thank you to Dr. Lam. And coming up tomorrow is Rebecca Major, our scientist, who will go and share with us. I think many of us already know youth or lifespan, but every time that a scientist come on, there's always a different perspective or something new that you will learn. So please tune in tomorrow as well. Okay, that's the day 3. All right,
Thank you,
thank
Dr.
you.
Lam.
Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you,
Lam.
Dr.
Thank you so much.
Lina.
Okay,
Thank you, Dr.
Dr.
Lam. Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you, Dr.
Lam.
Lam.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you,
Lam.
Dr.
Thank
Lam.
you,
Amazing.
Dr. Lam.
Amazing
Thank you, Dr.
recovery.
Lam.
Thank
Your
you.
story is
Yes.
amazing.
Thank you.
Yes, and of course the video will be uploaded by Pat when they are all settled in at home, on Pat and Margaret Song's YouTube channel. Okay. All right. See you, everybody. Bye bye.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Dr. Lam, again. Bye
Dr.
bye.
Lam.